unlocked.
Hey, Professor, here to give you that Quarter 2 history project.
Yeah, no, it's a presentation. Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant that, yeah, okay. Yeah. Alright, well, have a seat, then, I guess. Your presentation should be 10 to 15 minutes long. Well, when did the timer start? It started back there, at the door. At the door? Back there? It's already been like 30 seconds. I'm... Yes. So if I were you, I'd get started. Clock's ticking. Alright, yes, let's see, can I use my notes? Yeah, no, I certainly hope you would. Okay, well, my presentation is on the European and Asian maritime trade relations, focused primarily on Chinese relations. And here to help me with this presentation is my friend, Kenny. You're alone, and you're Kenny. What are you doing? Yeah, I know. I just need to get into the groove. Just wait. Yes, maritime trade relations. So to set this scene, China... I'm sorry to interrupt, but you have to present these facts in a conversational manner, which is why I recommended you have a legitimate partner instead of just yourself. Oh, well, that's what he's here for. As we were saying, China is currently in the Ming Dynasty. We are about to visit the time after China closed its seaports to the rest of the world. This year is about 1435. Quick side note, the Great Wall of China was being built along China's northern border during the Ming Dynasty. How interesting. Indeed. Now the dialogue part, boys. Kenny. But we have to get into character first, though. How long is this going to take? At this point, you're wasting time. Done. We are in character. Here we go. Hello there, fellow merchant. What is new in the world of trade? Well, the new Chinese Emperor Hongul ordered all their ports to close, except for a few. Oof, that's a bad move. It's going to really hurt trade there. I think that was his intentions. Why would anyone want to hurt trade, though? For a couple of reasons, and a very long conversation. Oh, don't worry, I've got time. Great. For starters, the Chinese religion is mostly Confucianism. Perhaps you've heard of it? Isn't that the belief system based on finding harmony with nature? No, that's Taoism. Confucianism is about finding harmony with the government and those around you. Oh, yes, I remember now. The one with the 5 relationships and the 5 constants. Exactly. Confucianism is something like China's national religion. I see. In the Confucianist hierarchy, they put landowners on top, peasants second, and merchants on the bottom. Merchants on the bottom? Why's that? Didn't they themselves have a merchant not so very long ago? They did, but we'll come back to that. They put merchants on the bottom of the hierarchy because they see it as dishonest work. Merchantry dishonest? Oh, that's preposterous. I don't think merchantry is a word, but that's besides the point. The Chinese see merchants as preying off the hard work of others. I don't follow their reasoning. Well, see here. What merchants do is they buy so much of this good and so much of that good for low prices. Following so far? I am. Fairly straightforward. The merchants take their freshly bought goods from point A, where they bought them, to point B, where they sell their goods for more than they bought them. But that's perfectly logical. Man has to make a living, doesn't he? Yes, but the Chinese don't see it that way. In Confucianist society, that's getting money unfairly. You're selling goods to someone else for a high price. To the Confucianist, that's taking advantage of the buyer. Stuff and nonsense, but if that's the way they see it, then that's the way they see it. Funny story about the founder of Confucianism, actually, if you want to hear it. Go on. The man who founded the religion, Confucius was his name, I believe. That's how they spell it, anyway. When he was 15 years old, he thought he could run a government better than the current rulers. Oh, I bet he could. Can you imagine a 15-year-old boy running a country? Well, that's what the higher-up said to him. Well, going back to what I said earlier, didn't China themselves have a merchant? They did, which is interesting and a little contradictory. Do tell. Well, his name was Zheng He, and he wasn't exactly a merchant. You've lost me completely. He sold goods, but he didn't sell the goods for profit.
How many voyages did he have?
Oh, so many. Off the top of my head, I believe he had somewhere around 7 to 9 voyages. Well, he was a web merchant, of course, of sorts. He wanted to spread the Chinese culture to peoples around the world. However, the Confucian scholars had a problem with this.
But why? According to their rules, he wasn't making money unfairly. He wasn't even making money at all.
Nonetheless, he was a merchant. However, he wasn't helping the Chinese economy.
Ah, I see. Wasn't he also a part of the Emperor's group?
He wasn't a eunuch. So, extra tidbit of information for you there.
Zheng He, leaving the realm of oceanic encounters, had to create a stir.
Oh, it did. Oh, it most certainly did. Think about it. Someone comes to our ports with goods you could previously only get from trades with the Silk Road, which was long, unreliable, and also quite dangerous. So people are now buying these goods from the ports, which makes them cheaper. Then the goods start coming in, the ships leave the sea, and here are the merchants who were buying these goods, wanting them back. Now what would you do? Well, I'd go to the source, get the goods from the homeland myself. And that's exactly what they did. Merchants from all over went to trade with China directly. This not only formed trade routes to China, but it connected other countries in ways they haven't been connected before.
Speaking of Chinese goods, what is your opinion on tea?
It's just leaves and water. And leaves don't even change the taste.
I agree entirely. I have never understood how people are able to drink that stuff. It tastes like rubbish, if you ask me.
In my opinion, tea won't be so popular in a few years. People won't be drinking it so much.
It's just a phase. Now back to the conversation. Where were we?
Countries trading with China directly.
Ah, yes. Unfortunately, the Dutch haven't been able to get any luck establishing themselves in China yet, have they?
Not that I know of. I have heard rumors of silver veins in Peru. I think the Portuguese are going over there to look into that. Might be big, might not. Only time can tell.
Now that we've talked about all of China's maritime history, shall we return to the original subject?
Ah, yes. I had quite forgotten about that. China closing its borders. Now that's causing an even bigger stir than the retirement of Zheng He.
Well, that makes sense. Really what they're doing is they're reversing the year-long work of Zheng He in a matter of days.
Exactly, my good fellow. My thoughts precisely. I don't think that this will go well for us merchant folk.
Essentially what they've done is they've cut this off at the source. We established new trade routes to China, and now China has greatly restricted our access to them.
I've heard a few rumors about how far into the country foreigners like us can go. A few people say one can go no farther than the city borders. Another says one can go no farther than a certain point within the city.
So they're restricting our access to trade with them, and then our access into their country.
Yes, and it's a shame too. They've got such a beautiful country. Well, why would they do that? Doesn't the emperor want people to visit China? Think about it for a sec. If people visited, they become a richer nation. More people would come to their country and buy the goods that people sold there. And there wouldn't have to be any merchant work involved. It would be people getting money fairly, which is in line with their Confucianist beliefs. And it would boost the whole country's economy. I think it's the same driving force behind why the emperor shut down the borders.
How's that? I don't see the connection.
I think the emperor wants to control outside influences.
He's certainly trying to do that.
You don't say. It seems to me that he's trying to preserve their ancient ways, make China more of what it used to be instead of driving it forward and progressing with the rest of the world.
Why wouldn't you want to progress with the rest of the world?
Well, they do have a beautiful and fascinating culture. So preserving that would be like a favour to the world, I suppose.
Yes, I suppose. At least he had the foresight to keep some of the trading ports open.
Yes, but not many. These ports are going to be very crowded now. Our opportunities for trade will be greatly hindered.
It'll be one great big mess. We'll practically be fighting over the docks.
Oh, it certainly won't be fun or easy.
Oh, certainly not. It's also going to make the goods we are able to trade out more expensive.
Unfortunately so. We might even be getting less goods out.
It's a messy mess.
Speaking of messy messes, I have my own mess to attend to now. Well, one of my ships messed up their order and are now coming in with less goods than he should have, and it's, oh my. You should go attend to that. Yes, well, it was good talking with you. I enjoyed our conversation, and I hope we meet again one day.
Good day.
Good day.
Good luck.
Ta-da! Bravo. Bravo. Wow. Gotta say, that was pretty impressive what you just did here. That, wow, blew me away. Oh, thank you. It's nothing, really. Nonetheless, I'm very impressed with what you did, and quickly glancing over the rubric, so you did pretty well. Thank you. Well, if you don't have any more questions for me, then you're good to go. Alright then, well, I'll be going. Have a good day, Professor. You too, Kenny. Alright. You know, I would be pretty surprised if Kenny did not get a very good grade on this project.